sponsored by Double Heat Sports and partnering with Rogan for your custom. Links in the description. Hello to Twitch view today and today. A little bit of will be going on. First, introduce our man with the jams, the musics that go ham, my boy Yexe. Next, we have Samegadeth, got PrinceCrow, and we got our boy. This is the official episode. How you boys doing?
Pretty good.
Yexe's
I'm good.
All right, fantastic. So you guys know what we're talking about?
No.
No. That's a rhetorical question.
I have no clue. I am clueless. Show me the way, Mr. Flying.
Yeah, just something about games. That's all I was saying. I was told.
Today,
I thought we were talking about
today
this.
we're gonna be talking new school versus old. Podcast is about. Today's will be based around the good old new school versus what could have been better. Strengths and weaknesses, genres, good ones. Just a mix between all of them. But I have a question for all of you. We're gonna go down. Yexe, start with you.
Fuck. All right, I'm ready.
What was your favorite? One of your, you know what? Go ahead. Top 3 your favorite old school. Top 3 favorite of you.
Okay. Before I skip my answers, all right. Old school to me is like PlayStation 2.
No. You got to go back.
Yeah.
I can't go. Okay.
Wait, how?
If I wanted to go back, I'd say I did play. What was it? The one Star Fox game. I can't remember. The one on the 64.
Oh,
Okay.
Star Fox 64?
Mhm.
Yeah, I think it was just called Star Fox.
Yeah, there you go.
Oh, Star Fox 64.
Okay.
Super Mario 64.
All right.
The other one I like.
Anything up to
And-
PlayStation?
I think it was definitely a Soul Calibur game I remember playing on the Xbox One. I forget which Soul Calibur it was though.
Not like Xbox One.
Yeah, the first Xbox. Yeah, that's what I meant. Yeah.
All right. And okay, so that's 3. What about? Yeah.
Okay, 3 new school. Sly Cooper and Thievius Raccoon is off of the PlayStation 2. This is tough. I'm gonna go with Mirror's Edge,
All right. That was
first one. And last favorite game. It's gonna have to be Smite because I played way too much of it
Okay.
for it to not be
All right, well-
top 3 for me.
About story-based one.
Favorite story game?
Mhm.
That's new school.
Replace it with replace Smite. Or replace it.
That'd be The Witcher 3 then.
Okay. I feel that. All right. Sam, what about you? Sam being the oldest one.
Okay.
Big facts.
Sam, Mike, you do? By chance? Yeah.
Is it? Hold on,
Yeah,
mic check.
anyways,
There we
you're
go.
good.
Oh, all right.
Oh,
Okay, so Mario Kart 64, that's
Nice.
definitely up there. It's a two-way tie between GoldenEye and Perfect Dark. I would say GoldenEye kind of kicked it off, but Perfect Dark kind of perfected it.
My man.
Okay.
Right.
Literally,
and
those are the
then-
two I was thinking.
Alright, what cool.
New school? Oh, God of War 4, hands down. Let me think this too. Resident Evil 7. That was a good one.
Mm-hmm.
That's a good pick.
Underrated, in my opinion.
Yes, definitely.
Very.
Okay.
And Red Dead Redemption 2, story-wise. Multiplayer now.
I feel that.
It's crazy. No
good.
Sonic 06 yet. That's crazy.
Bam.
Old school, I would have to say Mario Kart Double Dash. We got the good old Sonic. Literally any Sonic game back in the day. Didn't care what it was. And then the original Super Mario Brothers. And or Luigi's Mansion, because I always like Luigi's Mansion better than
Okay.
any of the Super Mario Brothers.
New school?
New school, Injustice, both games, Injustice 1 and 2. I always liked Far Cry, so I'd say Far Cry 3 over Far Cry 4. And then it's a hard one because I'm kind of stuck between like League of Legends and CS:GO, you know what I mean? Even though CS:GO
No,
goes way
story
back to
game,
like
story game,
1.6.
story game.
Story game? Okay. Damn, that's a hard question, man. There's so many good ones. I'd have to go with Red Dead then.
For the two?
Yeah.
Facts. Fried eggs. Yeah.
All right. So old school. I was going to say either GoldenEye or Perfect Dark.
We can say it.
I mean, yeah, but now I'm sitting here thinking about all the other games I played. Like old school RuneScape, definitely up there. Warcraft 3. That was one of the games of my childhood. Then like Luigi's Mansion's a great pick. Like it's crazy.
Respect.
New school. You know I love me some Smash Ultimate.
I can.
Slightly-
That has a full
Slightly
story.
biased.
That has a full story. 100.
So, there's that. I'd say, Hearthstone's another, I guess you could consider that new school.
Nice.
Hearthstone's pretty good. It's been out for a couple years.
Kind of sorta has a story.
And then I'd say probably, Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild.
That's a beautiful.
Oh, that's a gorgeous
That's a
game.
Old school top 3. Donkey Kong Country. Facts.
Big facts.
Bomberman 64. And I'ma definitely have to go with last. I'm gonna go with Get.
Really?
I'm gonna go with Get.
I'm amazed you didn't go with that one fighter that we played, the old school Street Fighter type thing. Like actual street fights.
Oh no. I didn't play that like. Oh, you talking about Left Jam?
Yeah.
No, that was PlayStation 2. That was PlayStation.
Okay.
But new, right? I gotta give it Prince of Persia. Everybody says games are shit.
Nah, that's all you, dog.
I mean, it's your list.
I definitely would like to give it definitely a Halo. A Halo 3. I'm trying to spin a lot. Oh, Evil Within. I thought Evil Within was.
Oh, that was another one I was thinking about.
Evil Within was your.
I wouldn't be able to pick between one or two.
That's a
I like
spicy one.
I have to say one because ending like I did not I was like, what?
I thought the gameplay for Evil Within 1 looked more, I guess, more challenging than Evil Within 2.
They reminded me. That makes sense. Like just the challenge aspect of it when it came to the puzzles and killing the enemy, the limited really put it into play. So especially Evil Within 1, the barns where you had big dude. So Sam, stop playing.
That and I was having issues
I remember.
with my controller in my resolution. That's the only reason I didn't finish it.
So when talking about old school games, like everybody says old games are better, games are better. If you had to choose a top, you had to choose a side, which one would you go with? New school, old school, okay?
Probably old school, just because it was more convenient. Honestly, you didn't have to update every game or install every game. Load times might have been like the only issue, but I mean, overall, I enjoy like being in company when playing multiplayer games too. Like, I feel like to this day, nothing beats sitting next to one of your friends playing a good fighter or a good co-op game like Halo 2 back in the day.
Couch co-op.
Yeah, couch co-op. Like, I feel like online is great, but nothing compares to that feeling of actually being next to someone, being next to one of your friends or one of your homies, and just kicking it.
Well, fucking lag.
That's just. What do you mean? Lag wasn't that bad.
No, I'm talking about.
Oh, well, yeah, shoot, yeah, no lag. But yeah,
So you mean no excuses? That's what you mean.
That too.
Like, I'm fighting you. Hey, can't get mad at me. If I'm sitting next to you, you can't say frame data.
Nah, it's definitely
Listen, I
frame
still
rate.
would, okay?
Yexe.
Yeah, new school for me, only because I feel like there's just more. There's a lot more variety in the new school now. Where it's kind of weird to say that because a lot of AAA titles be copying each other and everything, but it comes down to indie gaming too. There's a lot of vast what do you call it? Variants in indie games and stuff like that. That's why I like to play some of those too. So I'm gonna have to go with new school. Also, like combat in new school, like stuff like Batman Arkham and stuff like that. There's nothing in old school that would keep my attention like the new school combat.
I feel that. That's completely respectable. Completely respectable. Cam?
I'ma be the oddball and say like right in the middle, man. Like PS2. Damn.
I choose.
Listen, let me tell you why, but then I'll pick an actual song.
Okay.
The reason I say the middle is because when I was younger, I was like 5-6 years old, I'd plug in my little Pac-Man thing to my TV, and I'd sit there for like 7-8 hours just playing Pac-Man. Like, no F's.
So I guess you can really PS2, Xbox original, old school, because PS3 and Xbox 360 came out. That was generally.
Yeah, that was beginning like new gens, everything getting a lot of. I would have to say new school just because I found a home within the games of new school, so it's a little bit biased. Like I'll always love my old style games. I'll always, if I get the chance, load up like let's say Nintendo 64 and play some old games like you said, Donkey Kong and so on and so. But when it comes down to new school, I found a home in like fighting games and racing games and just having fun with my friends coming over 24/7.
I feel that. Eggs.
Even though I play a lot of games, I'm gonna have to say old school. Like, they just have so much nostalgia value, and like some of them are just like so good that I could always just like go back to them. Like last year, I just went back and replayed Luigi's Mansion, and like that shit was great.
I feel that.
So like nostalgia value just has it for me.
That's am gonna go with. It's really tough pick. Pros and cons of both of them, but if I had to choose, definitely go with. I guess it's just one of those feelings where I really miss playing the couch co-op. I really like Diddy Kong, playing Twisted Metal whenever it was good. What they put it on.
Samus and stuff.
And then
Yeah, things were a lot simpler back then, honestly.
it was,
They really were.
and it's just I guess of course it is the whole. But there are perks, of course, in the. I personally old school 100%. So, with that being said, let's talk about some of the strengths and the weaknesses of certain games. It could be any game, really. So some of the game and what you guys felt was like.
I'll start this one off. Marvel versus Capcom 2. 56 characters.
Please go. Go ahead.
56 characters. You get Marvel versus Capcom
Fucking facts,
3,
bro.
and I think it had 46, 42 or something like
It
that.
had 42.
42, yeah. I don't like the fact that it went backwards with less characters. And another thing that used to, I guess you could say, grind my gears about that. I literally just wanted Carnage to be in the freaking video game. Literally, that's all I want. We got Venom, he's okay, but outside of just going back old school, Maximum Carnage on the Sega and Super Nintendo, we've never really had Carnage in a video game. I think he might have been in one of those Spider-Man games on PlayStation, but he's never been like a playable. Oh yeah, Marvel Ultimate Alliance too. He was playable in that. But I mean playable. Like,
Yeah,
I don't know.
He's only been...
Yeah, I mean, I'm like really picky about my superheroes and supervillains, but I really feel like with Marvel vs. Capcom, just that whole series, they could have you have a whole universe of characters. Why not just? I mean, I guess it would be hard to throw every character in there, but I feel like they could have like a voting system by the fans or something, and throw that in there.
Yeah.
Yeah, like who would you want in there, and who like? Because I really feel like Frank West shouldn't be in a damn Marvel vs. Capcom game.
Well, I agree with that.
that's
And another person who I feel should not be in there is Zangief.
Yes,
Straight
like
up.
That's a list. Zangief was Marvel vs. Capcom.
Thing is, he's in other games too. Like, give characters that aren't in a game their time to shine too.
yeah, I feel like they like perfect example of that is Dimitri from Darkstalkers. Like he was a fan favorite. Him and John Teleman, the werewolf. If you guys are familiar with the Darkstalkers series, like those two were never in the Marvel vs. Capcom games. We always got Morrigan and what was the other one? I forget his name. Was it the robot?
Yeah, Trombone? Or what
No. It was the Darkstalker characters that were in Marvel vs. Capcom games. There's always been Morrigan, and it was always one more.
Oh.
The Heisenku.
Yeah.
The chick. Yeah, it's always been those two. It's never been anyone out. I mean, they put other characters in it, but it's always been those two for some reason. I remember the Mummy was in the second one. I forget his name.
I feel like a big part of that, if they would have had just characters, right? So we had 6 characters MVC, right? It was pick 2 characters, 36, right? If I'm not mistaken.
You're right.
They should have kept that. Had a big pick your assist, but you had your assist. I feel like that amped mechanics of the game itself. Bringing more, have them as a lot of the characters that they brought into 3, like Deadpool, they were great, but they were just fun to play against because they were high tier, but they were also easy characters to play overall. They were great. They were done visually. To play against.
Yeah, after a week of getting Sentinel spammed, I take the game back, so I didn't get that far in the list up there.
I cannot blame you in any way, shape, or form.
But then of course MVC.
MVC3?
No, Capcom Infinite.
Oh, okay.
That game died. 100%
Instantly.
Like, game didn't
About a month or 2, and then it instantly died off because you know what? Everyone finally started realizing, wow, this game's just gone more and more trash.
Still that game. Infinity Stones that it decided to add because of the fucking cinematic. Only person I feel like that's relevant in that game still is Maximilian, and I feel bad for that.
Yeah.
because he's still playing that game. It's not a bad game. It died off. Oh, Ross.
My question is, why the hell we got Infinity Stones, and then they coordinated all the Thanos, but there ain't no damn like Thanos.
Wait, he wasn't in the game?
No.
'Cause I didn't play it.
No, he wasn't in the game. But they incorporated all the Infinity Stones, and then guess who all incorporated back to was Thanos. He was not in the game at all.
Oh no, Thanos.
Was he?
He was in the cutscene, right? If
Yeah,
I'm not
he-
mistaken.
Apparently he was just never played.
No, I don't think he was a playable character. I just thought he was like I did see the cutscenes of the game, and I thought he shows up with like the Lady Death or somebody, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, okay. I didn't think he was a puppet.
So the fact that they the character so much in the Marvel Capcom was horrible. Like they changed combo system a lot of characters, which is fine. It's fine, but they changed how they played overall. The feeling of I personally I did not like. Because I played.
For example, go ahead.
No, I was just I played a lot of Captain America. Played Captain America. I played who else is on? Captain America. I played Dante. Played Firebrand. Jedi was in there. I did play Nemesis. Nemesis and Captain America felt the same, but they felt off. They felt Captain America felt sluggish, and this did not feel like he heavy tank like he. And that's fine if they wanted to nerf him. Did not happen. Did.
Now, I just want to point something out. One of the easiest combos in almost any game to start off with. Literally just one little quarter circle back three. Okay? You take that. That's a standard in most games. Okay. But wait. Okay. Quarter circle back three is quarter circle back heavy in most games. So when somebody is a quarter circle back heavy, usually, you do a little bit of a medium heavy mix up. But then you go to MVC and you feel like your hands are non-stop moving for about 20 minutes for one combo that does about 20% damage.
I feel that.
Isn't that how it is?
Where is the scaling in any way, shape, or form?
Go ahead, yeah.
I was gonna say, because this is which game is this? Marvel vs. Capcom?
MVC.
MVC. I know for like a lot of games, well, more of like the 2D anime fighters, like the scaling like hits pretty hard to where like one super long combo equates to like just doing a level 3 super onto somebody, and it's just like I guess that's cool, but at the same time it's like I guess there I don't know. My problem with some fighting games is that they make you work a lot harder for like a lot less value, and I'm guessing that's what it felt even worse on MVC then.
Yeah, on MVC it was you can literally full combo somebody, do like you can get up to 90 to 100 combo plus hits, and you'll do, let's say, 33. You do one simple little thing and you get the same percentage.
Yeah.
Without any of the work.
I feel like that took away the difference between a high tier game and low tier game. Because yes, Marvel vs. Capcom, there is system, but not as. I feel like the matches were not as intense as they were from watching. So, I'm not saying it was. Yeah, I definitely get that feeling. Quite honest.
Just to add in while we're on the touch of combos and scaling, what do you guys think about Dead or Alive's fight system?
I never played Dead or Alive, so I wouldn't know anything about it.
Yeah,
I touched Dead or Alive for a little bit, only a little.
Dead or Alive is like is it kind of like the Tekken and Soul Calibur in terms of like
in a sense, yeah, because the only thing that really sets it apart is two there's two buttons that pretty much do all of the damage, and there's a block and a grab button. Unlike the other fighting games where it's
Where there's multiple
low,
like heavy,
low, medium, high.
Low,
Yeah,
medium,
it's
heavy,
literally a
grab,
parry, a
stop.
block, a punch, and a kick button. Yeah, it's kind of weird. But since majority of you guys haven't played it, and I really didn't like, I played primarily shooters over fighting games. I just wanted to kind of pick you guys' brain into what do you guys think between that fighting system and your traditional fighting game.
I guess. Oh,
I feel like personally, if you're gonna make a fighting game, you have to make it interesting instead of it. Oh, let me press the same 2 buttons every 3 seconds and make me want to literally go jump off a bridge.
See, the thing about that
Keep
is
me entertained.
like, I get that, but also there's like this sort of leads into the, I guess we could say this is one of the like weaknesses of fighting games as a genre. Like, there's always been the argument of lower skills or low skill floor, high skill ceiling sort of argument, because it's like you want to have it nice and competitive so that you cater to the desires of the people who have spent so much time like learning neutral in this game, learning combos, learning different things, but also you want to interest new people who don't necessarily may not necessarily have that desire to put in all that time, work, effort, things like that.
yeah.
It's a good start, good beginning.
I think for fighting games, it's weird because I feel like fighting games are like literally probably like the purest form of competitive in like all the gaming genres and in every like esport to me, because it's more there's nobody else but you controlling the character, and it's up to you to make all the right decisions and win the match basically.
Yeah.
So,
when you play a
like-
fighting game, you have to be able to read and everything else.
Yeah, so I guess in my point of view, I don't like when I guess a dev team tries to like cater to people who are not that good, because I mean, like, anybody can practice to become at least decent at the game, and then there's people that are just like gods. Like, take for instance like Sonic Fox, like that man's a god at fighting games. So
very diverse.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that man's a god at fighting games. There's
I mean, he's only won Evo like for what, 3 different games?
Yeah, it's like nobody can take away from what that man does, right? And I mean, like, when you move up in the ladder, it's clear who's way better than other people, right? But like when a game tries to, I guess, like raise the floor to where it's closer to the ceiling, that's when it's not okay, because it's basically like you can't give people wins. People have to earn their wins. In fighting games, to me, people have to earn their wins and stuff like that.
Now,
But yeah.
real quick, on the topic of that, I myself, I have played Injustice professionally, just like Sonic Fox. I'm nowhere near his level,
Yeah,
but I remember going against him in Injustice 1. Dude was absolute doo-doo. And then he hit like midway through the N.O.S comp scene, and he started blowing up a little bit. He started getting the recognition. As soon as Justice 2 and MKX hit the floor, man, Sonic Fox took off. And I don't know if it was because of his work ethic, his coach, his own mentality, or all three, but anyone can be a top tier player. All you have to do is put in the work. Because I remember him being a low tier garbage player, and now he's not among men when
Sonic
it
Fox
comes to games.
Sonic Fox literally worked himself to the point where like he can pick up any fighting game and just look like a god on it. But that's because of his prior knowledge and what he's been grinding on in the old fighting games to get up to that point in time. So it's like he is the clear indicator that anybody can do it if you have the time and the patience to actually do it. So don't try and give people a sense of winning just so that they buy your game. People should get a fighting game knowing I am trash at fighting games right now, but if I play this game over and over and actually learn how to play the game and not just play and lose and get mad. Actually learn how to play the game afterwards, like knowing what you're doing wrong all the time and keep working at it. You're going to get to that level one of these days. Not today, definitely not tomorrow, but one of these days you will be able to work yourself to that point in time. And if you really want to get good at fighting games, I'd say just go to tournaments, because that's where you really learn.
Amen on that, because even online tourneys help like
Mhm.
crazy, and I will say that from personal experience.
With that being bouncing back to it, traditionally strength point. Marvel's Capcom sale?
Well, yeah, well, we're on that'll work, but yeah, just in fighting games in general, I would assume now.
I feel that. Because I mean, that is a big. My biggest fighting game that if I were to make a fighting game, I'd make a fighting game with set damage ratio each character to be exactly the same across the board. The reason why fighting game is that I don't feel like there should be, because there's just, I don't know, I don't feel like there should be. I feel like everybody should be able to equally, and that everybody should. The only thing difficult for that person is learning the mechanics and the combo base of that character. Having playing all high tier is boring when it be a lobby filled with like Tekken. Well, I won't say Tekken for you. Smash was right. Go to a tournament. Eggs, who do you see mainly play on the roster?
Well, here, let me use an example.
Okay, go ahead.
Like, let's use Evo 2018.
Facts.
Top 8 had 4 or 5 Bayonetta players, and Bayonetta was like the best character in the game.
100%.
Yeah.
And I feel like, to me, it's like, okay, why does a single character have to be? Make a set ratio of damage for each character across the board the same. Have your light punch, or you have your heavies, specials, smash, specials, everything else equal across the board.
Neutrals.
Your neutral, everything's equal across the board, because I feel like if a character is going from one game to, and that's their favorite character to play, it could be either based off cosmetics or just combo or how that character plays in general. It's completely fine, right? But why does it have to be based off of a high tier system? Like if I'm playing Soul Calibur 6 and I like the that Maxi plays, for example, right? Maxi's been saying damn near every Soul Calibur game, but it's also like that he's one of the easiest characters to beat in Soul Calibur. And it's like, I like him because one because he nunchucks one to Michelangelo. Sure.
Shout out.
Can I make a quick comment? Yeah. I just got a pair of nunchucks actually.
But
oh, that sounds like that's dangerous.
That sounds but I don't. I do system and why they MST, but I'm just saying, from my perspective, the viewers out there, I feel I would make a fighting game because I just don't feel like there should be that tier system in characters, because it takes a while. Now in Smash Ultimate, got a lot of complaints about people that play certain characters that can't play them and can't find a character that they can enjoy. Now they play Smash Ultimate. Now they're waiting pocket from Joker to come up. What they're looking for. And it's like,
for example, real quick, Hungry Box with his Jigglypuff.
Oh, they nerfed him. Oh man, Jigglypuff is trash.
Which is why I said that, and that was a perfect example because Hungry Box never let go of his Jiggly. He's basically forced to in Smash Ultimate.
See, the thing,
but I feel like that's the wonders of fighting games. Like, okay, not I mean like okay, it goes back to like when I watch like the esports events for fighting games,
Right.
and I see people in sets and they're only like maining one character. And it's like, I guess for me, I guess like another part of like being or like another part of fighting games and competitive is more of like, I guess, the characters that you pick in the moment that you're playing them, right?
Matchups is what you're saying. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because okay, like Smash Ultimate doesn't give you the luxury of switching your character on like while you're queuing up and stuff, and like every character you go up against is random. Like one day you're going up against Incineroar, the next day you're going up against the only freaking person playing Lucario online. It's just like, and the difference between like at an event, you have the luxury of like, okay, I got bodied in game one because this character against that character is just straight garbage. Let me just pick somebody else that I know how to play, right? That can help in this moment in time. But I guess for when it comes to tiers and stuff like that, I guess my problem is more of like in development cycle, like some of the things they think of for these characters should not be allowed to leave the room and go out on the game. Like, who cleared Jigglypuff to go out the way how Jigglypuff is? Like, that is so garbage. Like, you literally. So I feel for him that he can't play a sweeper character, but at the same time, I mean, try playing somebody else, I guess. Don't like. There's like mad characters. Just look at that roster.
I mean, to be fair, Jigglypuff is in Ultimate is already way better than she was in Smash 4. Smash 4, she was
Yeah.
absolute garbage tier. And like, yeah, you can I understand the character loyalty and stuff like that. Like, you got Elegant still playing his Luigi. You got Hungry Box still playing his Jigglypuff. You got like Ally is going back to his Brawl main Snake, but he still has the Mario from Smash 4. Like, but with like you have the same kind of concept of the character in your head.
Yeah.
So that kind of like sometimes that kind of like idea of and ability will carry it. Or you could just be Mewtwo King and play a different character every single.
Which I respect Mewtwo King for because it's just insane.
Dude plays 3 characters in Melee. Dude played Meta Knight in Brawl, Cloud in Smash 4, and now last I checked he played Lucina.
I think so, yeah.
Dude is all over the place with his characters.
But I feel like people shouldn't expect the same character every single game, like every single generation of a game. Like, that's kind of crazy to think that, your character from Melee is gonna be the same character in Ultimate. What is it, like 3 games later? No. Like, but I understand that if you're in love with the character, do you, but don't like get mad when your character doesn't work but you don't want to play anything else, because that's on you. You bought the game for $60 and there's like how many characters on the list and you only want to play one. I guess so.
No, I completely. That's just whatever. I guess it's because I play fighting games like competitively, and I get stuck trying to both of them. Necessarily can't. It's like Yexe said, fighting games is really one of the most competitive fighting game genres out there. Doesn't matter. So it's really hard to find a fighting game that everybody is gonna enjoy because everybody has a taste. That's why there's so many. And I still got that come out. I had the most fun. Actually, I had a lot of fun playing. There was a game, Card Saga War, that I was playing. The only way we could play it really Parsec. Local thing. And
that game was amazing.
That game
like,
was
in all honesty, that game was amazing. I loved playing it.
And it had some busted characters in it, but it was the fundamental of the game. So much fun of it. And Card Saga War, just like it was off, and it was basically, I guess, really Part Saga. I don't know. I didn't know Part Saga was until I played the game myself. So if I had to give my version of it, would it's like a Super Smash Brothers, not Super Smash, actual brawls. Old style characters from different. Had Samus, Master in there, Chronos, Ivy. You had Etna from I don't want to say. Not even gonna say it. Someone from Castlevania. Alright, yeah, had a bunch of people in there. It was just a lot of fun because I haven't seen those characters in that style of fighting in a while. Even I was really, but that's just, I feel like that's just one of the main. I think that's the strong point and the weak of fighting games in general. That whole genre in itself.
Yeah.
So yeah. What about you? I think it would be a strong the weakness of a certain game, certain genre that's out right now.
Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and say it because I think I probably have the most experience in this genre out of any genre I've ever played. I'm gonna go with MOBAs. All right, the strengths of MOBAs is that there's so much character variety that it's insane. Within each game, like take League of Legends, there's over 100 characters in that, and then Smite has probably like what? I think they're close to 100 now too, and that's really good. Okay, I like the variety among different MOBAs too, and everything. Like there are 4 sets of abilities. Each ability is super different. All have different interactions with each other and everything. The item system is really cool. What else? I'm trying to think. There's like just MOBAs in general. I just like the competitive nature of MOBAs, like trying to outthink your enemy on the fly.
Yeah.
The economy system and all that.
It's like a low down version of RTS.
Yeah. But the weakness, and it hurts so much because I notice it with myself when I'm talking to my friends about MOBAs all the time, is that the skill gap is so huge that it's insane. Like the amount of knowledge that you have to have in a MOBA in order to actually like start understanding how to play the game itself is mind-boggling. Like the fact that you have, like, when somebody presents to you a game, right? It shouldn't be that you have to go out to multiple different like YouTubers and streamers to try and understand what is going on in this game. And that's the big problem for MOBAs right now, is that it's like, okay, like when I was trying to teach my friends how to play Smite, I realized that I was rushing them into like playing how I was playing, but that was because I had like over 1,000 hours in Smite, and I'm sitting there like it's like second nature to me, right? Like everything that I'm doing is just like I can breathe in, breathe out. It's the same thing as just like I know what items to get. I know what characters to play in certain matchups. I know how to lane. I know laning phase. I know team fighting and all of that, right? But when I was trying to explain it to my friends, I realized that there's no really easy way to explain a MOBA to somebody without breaking it down to small subsections where it's like really tedious at that point, and I don't want to do it because it's gonna take way too long, and I'm not a teacher in the first place at all. So like it's just like if only MOBAs were like, I guess.
Tutorial.
Yeah, if they had an app, because okay, these MOBAs have tutorials, but they're trash. The
Yeah,
tutorials are garbage. Okay, the tutorials are nothing.
Here's
It is nothing like how the actual game goes. they don't even lane the characters properly in certain tutorials. Like, it's so garbage. Like, okay, and then when a MOBA tries to what do you call it, appeal to newer players, i.e. Paragon,
Oh, no.
and then it starts
Just
listening
die.
to the community way too often, to the point where they ruin their own game because the community complained about the card system that they had before, the new card system that they put in, which, by the way, was probably the one thing that killed that game altogether, was that new card system. Boy, was that so garbage. Not only was the fact that the map was super garbage in the first place, the new map that they had put in, the old map was fine. It was literally character movement that needed to change. The map did not need to change. The character movement did. And then they started chasing down the great MOBA, because MOBAs take a long time. You're not gonna start up a League of Legends game and expect it to end in the next 10 minutes, because that is not gonna happen. Okay?
You're like halfway through laning.
Exactly. At 10 minutes, 10 minutes, you're not even team fighting. Stop it. So it's like,
In 10 minutes, you're still trying to buy your first part of your damn item.
exactly. So, like, for Paragon, their problem was that they kept trying to chase that perfect 30-minute MOBA game time, right? Which, if you played any low tier version of a MOBA, every game lasts an hour. League of Legends, some of my matches in League of Legends have lasted an hour. That is not
My
fun.
longest League of Legends match is an hour and 37 minutes.
Yep.
My shortest is 12.
Exactly. So
if you-
let's-
I think the longest competitive game of League of Legends was like 80 minutes long.
yeah, it gets up there. So the problem with Paragon was that every match was lasting an hour. Like, every match lasted an hour unless the team decided to surrender first. But if we're talking about your team takes it all the way to their base and destroys their core, it's an hour. It's like 45 minutes to an hour, right? They changed the movement speed to try and get it down to at least like 40 minutes average, right? That didn't happen, of course, because number one, nobody knew how to play Paragon. They were still playing it like it was team deathmatch instead of actually going for objectives. So then they changed the map, and then, okay, they did the worst thing that you ever do in a MOBA. You nerf the towers. Why would you ever nerf the towers in the first place? Because then it really turned into team deathmatch, because the towers don't even matter anymore. You just run under their level 1 and you're killing everything, because the towers don't do anything.
No, they just
They're
kind of
just-
sit there and like, okay.
And then that's what killed the game. They kept trying to appeal to newer players. Like, new players don't want to sit there and play an hour-long match. Let's be honest. They're all playing Fortnite, getting killed as soon as they land and just queuing up again. That's what they like to do. But people that like to play MOBAs, there's a certain group that likes to play that game. Stop trying to appeal to a newer audience. Not everybody's built to play MOBAs, is what I'm trying to say. And then the fact that it's kind of detrimental to MOBAs, like new MOBAs that try to come out now, because it's hard to get them to jump off of the MOBAs that they have already played for probably like 6-8 years now. And it's like there's no room for a new MOBA anymore. Like, they just got rid of the esports for what is it, Heroes of the Storm?
See, I've played years of League of Legends. I've also played Heroes of the essentially since it came, and I thought Heroes did a pretty decent job of the whole like 20-ish minute game, 30. But that's only if you focus on objectives.
Mm-hmm.
And like, as somebody who started playing League first,
Yeah.
where a lot of times it's kind of snowbally, solo carry kind of deal. Like,
Yeah.
you play well, you get yourself like going, and then you can start helping everybody else.
Mm-hmm.
But like in Heroes, that's not how it works. Like, you gotta have like the experience is global, levels are global, and there's no item system. They just have the talent.
Yep.
So like, you have characters that are better suited for team fights, or characters that are better suited for like for instance, Lost Viking.
Mm.
They're not really all that great much, except for the fact that they can sit. You have 3 different characters that can sit in each lane and just sit there and observe experience, while the rest of your team is going and fighting a 4v5.
Mm-hmm.
But like I said, coming from League and like getting my mindset of like, all right, I kill my lane opponent. My jungler's here. We're gonna go grab a dragon, get some gold, go back. I'm gonna buy my first item, and then I'm gonna keep killing this guy over and over again. Get the tower, blah 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 blah,
Mm-hmm.
and then like go into a team, well, like you described it, a team deathmatch game of not Hearthstone, Heroes of the Storm.
Yeah.
And like people just, I'll sit there and go, why are we not grouping for the objective?
Mm-hmm.
Why?
It's just it's super frustrating, and it's like I think what a lot of like I guess like for me, I'ma just tell people I don't think anybody should make another MOBA. I think the amount of MOBAs that we have now, that's gonna be it. There's no MOBA that will come out that's gonna actually overtake any of the MOBAs that are already standing right now as it is, which is basically League of Legends. League of Legends is gonna eventually be the only MOBA that's
I think
still...
League and Dota 2.
Yeah, Dota 2 too. I keep forgetting about Dota 2.
Dota was the original.
Yeah.
You can't get rid of it no matter how much you pop. Like I played.
Nah.
The original.
Yeah.
What, Warcraft?
Yeah, Warcraft 3.
Mm-hmm.
Like when I named Warcraft 3 earlier, I spent most of my time playing the original Dota.
Mm-hmm.
So like, that's actually what started me on like MOBAs. But I never actually I was too young to actually understand anything that was going on. I was just sort of like, I'm gonna walk over here, hit this guy. Oh, I died. Oh, that sucks.
I feel that because it's just one of the things like you guys have said, mobile to me the biggest skill gap. And I do play League since season 3, and I honestly whenever somebody that system professional, like double it, for example.
Yeah.
When it comes to anybody extra unnecessary, what is it? Bane?
Yeah,
like
yeah.
Season 3 and 4? Jesus fucking Christ. Like, it's just absolutely awful.
Mm-hmm. It's like, yeah, I think, like, for me, I know that I'm probably never ever gonna catch up to a pro player in any of these MOBAs, right? Like, this season was the first time I hit platinum in Smite, and I've been playing Smite for like, because the fighting games are different. Fighting games, you actually have a chance. Oh, the Smite, nah. I have never heard of anybody grinding from like bronze to masters over years.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure there are plenty of people who just sort of picked up the game and like it just clicks with them, and then suddenly they're like really good.
But like for other people, I mean, like when you're put into a tier, like you're conditioned to think like you're in that tier for the rest of your career playing that game.
That is why I hated people always back in the day, like season 4, season 5, people always complained about being bronze because everyone's like, oh, I should be, I'm good at this game, I can do this, I can do that, I play this character's pretty low. But then like you get to silver and you get into like silver 3, silver 2 area,
it's a totally different game.
it is the worst experience I've ever had because they're like, oh, I'm almost gold, and people who are gold, because of the extra incentive of like the Victorious skin and the cool looking gold border, they're like, yo, I am like so close, I'm like they just consider that the cutoff of between
being good and
So they're like, I have the knowledge, I obviously have the game sense to almost be there, but they're like, they don't think about the fact of why they're not there.
They only
like-
think about the fact of they're there, so they have to be better than everybody else.
Exactly. I'm better than all these people below me, but they don't think about, oh, this person might be better than. Like it's that's where you see a lot of people like blaming their teammates,
Mm-hmm.
and like like whenever I play, like when I first started, I was very much like, shit, I died. Blame my teammate.
Mm-hmm.
But then like my older brother is 5 years older than me. He was the one who got me started on League. He's like.
Yeah.
He got me to become a very firm believer in the every single time that you die, doesn't matter what the circumstances are, it is 100% your fault and you could have prevented it.
Mm-hmm.
Biggest fact.
And like once I switched my mindset to that, I was like, damn, all right.
You start winning more games when you think
Yeah.
like that, because when you start thinking that, when you actually think about the mistakes you're actually making, like for me, I'm gonna take Overwatch as a perfect example for this. For me, I was stuck in silver for a long time. And I'm sitting there talking to myself and like, yeah, I'm better than all these kids here. There's no way I belong in silver. And then
I
started
remember
watching some
asking you a
videos, and
goddamn
I think
thing.
it was Unit Law's game that I still watch him to this day. And he was like, every death is your fault. You can prevent your own death. That's the number one thing you have to start doing is not dying, right?
Right.
I'm sitting there like, it actually clicked, and I'm like, wait, if I actually like think about why I'm actually dying sometimes, like I'll be playing like, I guess like back in the day, I was playing a lot of Soldier 76. I'll be playing Soldier 76, and I'm up on high ground, and then everybody's on the point fighting, and my dumb self drops down onto the point where everybody can actually kill me, and then complain about it, right? And I'm like, wait, maybe I shouldn't do that. Maybe I should stay on high ground where nobody can actually hit me. And then I started winning more games. And then last season, I hit platinum because of all of that. So it's like, if you actually change your mindset of how you're thinking, you can improve at the game. But there's still some times where it's the game still kind of screwing you over at the same time, whether it be like you get bad team. Like we know, like I'm not saying bad teammates like they can't play the game. I'm saying bad teammates as in toxic. They're throwing the match. They're being toxic in chat. It ruins your experience to the point where, yeah, I don't ever want to play this game anymore. Like a lot of people complain about the toxicity in League of Legends. It's clearly there, and you can miss one minion in lane, and everybody's gonna flame you like you can't CS for nothing in your life. It's terrible, and it's just like.
That's
It's
why
just-
I could never be a pro player, because like I miss cannon minions like it's my job.
It's
And like you can like if you're watching like Riot when LCS is on,
Mhm.
and a pro, like if you're watching Bjergsen or something like that, and everyone's
And
like,
he
oh,
misses the
Bjergsen is this,
cannon?
Bjergsen
Oh.
is this like mechanical god, and
Never miss.
he misses one cannon minion, you hear the whole crowd booing.
It's just crazy. It's like, but there's no room for error in the eyes of anybody in
Just
any
let
of
this
these
be
MOBAs, bro. It's crazy. It's like people forget that there's always room for human error in everything that you do in these games. Like even an like an auto aim character can mess up easy. Like, what is it? I know in Smite there's this one character where where you can ult from across the map, and if you have vision on them, like the ult just automatically goes to them no matter what, right? So I'm ulting. As soon as I press left click, the tank stands in front at the last second. He doesn't know what's going on because he's on the other side of the map. Only I can see that I'm about to hit him instead of the person behind him. And it just hurts every time. But it's like, it's gonna happen. But people don't care that it's gonna happen. They only want to see you do good because in their head, it's like, you're ruining the game for me because you can't hit your abilities, right? Meanwhile, they missed like 7 cannon minions in the lane, but they're yelling at you because you missed one ranged minion, and it's just like, it's crazy. I don't understand, bro. The community is so toxic.
Like the world is perfect until human error is added in.
Yeah.
Like in Smash, in Smash 4 at least, people said, like, almost without debate, if human error did not exist, Sheik would be the best character in the game.
Oh,
This
like,
is so.
Like, characters got a strong neutral, really good punish game, really good edge guarding, really good recovery. Like,
Man, everything.
This character's like the only thing that they say is her weakness is she can't kill. But like, if you can combo and get your perfect reads and perfect this and perfect that, then you'll kill no problem. Like she has kill, just at kill percentage she can't like reliably combo in, or the window for it is very
small. Yeah.
So like, in a world where there's no human error, this character is just
better.
The god. But like, then you look at.
But of course,
you look at at Void.
That's the whole point of it. Also, another downfall of MOBAs. Okay, it depends on, I guess, the company that makes the MOBA. League of Legends changes everything every like 3 weeks or 2 weeks. I forget what the cycle is like. It's crazy. Like you think you're playing the game one way, and then all of a sudden they put in a new patch, and all of a sudden this character's god tier, and your character you're playing is trash, and you should never pick that character ever again. But you spent how many weeks practicing that one character just for it to be like, oh yeah, well we felt like the character was too strong, so yeah, we're just gonna nerf it now.
Yeah.
Have fun. And it's just I don't know, man. It's just
thing.
MOBAs are.
See,
it's too. They're like, you change one thing and the whole meta.
Yeah, that's I don't even see that as a MOBA thing. Like, that is a problem for just MOBAs. Like, that is also a big thing with fighting.
Oh yeah.
So many people, like people calling for nerfs on playing and Pichu and Peach and Daisy, all this other stuff. It's like, why? Like, there's counterplay to it. Exploit. Every character has their weaknesses, and you should exploit them rather than calling for buffs or whatever.
But
also,
I mean,
like,
for certain MOBAs, there are some characters that are clearly way too strong. Like, and then that's the other thing. I know it's like conspiracy theory and all that, but I know for a fact every time there's a new skin coming out for a character, devs will definitely buff that character so that people will buy that skin. Or new characters on release, are broken. There's no way around it. They're gonna be broken on release. Yet you still go to complain about it. But we know why they're doing this.
I mean, yeah,
they want people to get to play that character, so they're gonna break it in order for people to be intrigued by it.
Nobody.
Unfortunately, power creep is an unfortunate reality we gotta face.
Yep.
Like, I thought about it before. Like, you got like, and like, there's the running meme every year when Worlds runs around that Jax is gonna get buffed, or like Triforce is gonna get buffed, and this characters are like the big playmaking characters that have like the really high skill ceilings are the ones that they're going to want to showcase. So around the times where the big tournament where potentially millions of people are watching,
that's when they're gonna pull out all the stops and buff.
Exactly. Like season 3, like you saw Zed, you saw Ari, you saw like Jax, Jarvan, like Zac, all these characters, Vi. You had all these characters that like are really big playmakers and are like really fun to watch. Like team fight comps were the thing, and people were just like, it was a bloodbath, and people were outplaying everybody.
Yep.
It's like
funky, and because Vi was so strong at that time,
you can build any way you want and a certain character.
Still one shot everyone.
Because honestly, life still attacks me. Having three Phantom Dance and one Borg. grabbing his hydra. Something else. It was honestly sit there. You could fight anybody. You had so much health. You just sit there.
There was a character in Smite that was supposed to be a support character, right? People were taking that character into the jungle because it could two-shot kill anything with a certain item. It was just still, it's dumb. It's really dumb what happens with certain characters that like they know. It's like, again, you guys, I don't know. They say that they're play testing. I don't believe them. They're not play testing. There's no way you let certain things out. Like, say for instance, Overwatch. They put Brigitte in the game, knowing damn well what it was gonna do to the game. And then they act like nothing's wrong with what they just did to the game. And it's like, you guys can't be kidding. You gotta be kidding me, please.
Biggest fact. Alright, so Yexe. What do you feel? Game or job? Drink some.
Such a question. See, you got me thinking earlier. Like, my biggest issue, for games overall, is the general power. Like, there's always got to be something better. Doesn't matter like what it is. Like, the first thing that comes to mind, like, I thought about this a week ago in terms of like Pokemon Go for some reason. Like,
Okay.
I was driving home, and as I was driving home for New Year's, and I drove past this park where I used to I played Pokemon Go when it was released at that park, and like I thought about, like, you got all these Pokemon with like high IVs, and they're only going to get higher as the game progresses, because like now that you got these high IV, good combat stats, and high CP or whatever, who cares about this like super rare Pokemon, a shiny Pokemon you just found that's got 10 IV? Like,
Right.
people ain't gonna care about it because it's garbage. Like, and like another thing that I think about Hearthstone, because like ain't nobody going to be playing those classic packs anymore. Like, they had the original however many cards it was, and when's the last time you saw like the 1/2 taunt footman? Like, that there's plenty of other cards that do its job better.
No, you're absolutely. The main. We're gonna talk about games. No, not MTG. Just card games. In general, Yu-Gi-Oh, Magic, Crystal, all of it. Biggest thing that is how some cards, most cards, after 2 or 3, or after like 3 or 4 seasons.
Because other cards are just broken.
Right, and it's just to make adjustments to those cards, but but I guess if you're dealing with cards like for example, Pot
Agreed.
yeah, it's banned. Why? Because broken ass. But then it's like, why? Like, why the Gen 1 cards completely, now everybody's using everything else, and I don't know about cards to speak on them.
Exodia is shit now?
Well, that's all.
Exodia is broken for life.
Just making sure.
One hit win. Like,
My
making
grandfather's deck has no bad. That's all I gotta say about that.
But what is it? I guess for me, when it comes to card games, I don't play them often because I guess I feel like it's really down to like RNG for me, I would say, because it's like it's really random what card you're gonna get in the first place, right? Like you can get really hoed by the way how the, especially like Hearthstone, you can get really hoed by the way how the computer decides they want to shuffle your deck, right? And you're sitting there and you're pulling out like 0 monster cards are coming out for like how many rounds, right? And you're sitting there like, bro, I'm a wide open target. This man has like six dudes on the playing field. I still got all these stupid magic cards over here that are literally doing nothing for me but keeping me here as a sitting duck. And it's, I guess, like, that's just me personally. I mean, like, I know a lot of people love Hearthstone and stuff like that, and you know, more power to you, right? But I sit there and I see like the way how companies treat their card games, though.
It's honestly,
it's like they're really like out here trying to rob you of your money because they're like, oh, I mean, like, you don't have any good cards right now, but trust me, if you just buy this pack for like $30, you'll have all the most OP cards.
Yeah, get this expansion, this $10 or this $30 expansion that you're gonna play for an hour, and then you get a bunch of new cards.
And then they're gonna come out 3 weeks later with like, hey, remember that card that you thought was great? Nah, this is the new broken card. You want this one? It's just like, fam, I just paid $30 for that. They're gonna be like, well, you can just pay another $30. It'll be fine. It's like,
also,
that's my problem with it, though.
Just a side note on the whole RNG ID thing you said. There's only one person in the world that RNG does not affect, and that is because the Millennium Puzzle is actually just cheating. Part of the cards is fake.
Wow.
Like, I saw this thing that was like, all the Millennium items or whatever, they all have their special powers. Millennium Puzzle actually just pulls whatever cards he needs to the top of the deck.
Yeah, that's dumb.
And I'm just like, you find this out at like the end of the series, it's like, wow, this kid was cheating the whole time.
Of course he was, because there's no way you just like, yeah, I'm just
the
gonna
master
get
of top decks.
I'm just gonna get everything that I want as soon as I call it out. Man, I really need this card. Oh, conveniently, guess what card
if I just pulled all 5 pieces of Exodia right now. That'd be crazy.
Oh my god. Oh man, I need Dark Magician to save me right now. Oh look who I just got, Dark Magician.
That's crazy.
Boy, who would have thought? But yeah.
I don't know. I personally don't know too much about card scene in itself. Card there's way too much on it. But I feel like that's so much money gets.
Yeah.
Let me think here. I had over like I had to go for strength points and weaknesses. I'm gonna go for
like horde games, like
horror game, like
horror games. Okay.
Yeah.
You
It sounded like
I was
yeah.
thinking of.
You worried there, bud. I was like.
I was like, oh, are you talking about like zombie games or something like that? But nah, I could see, yeah, horror games, yeah.
I'm horror for that. Like,
no, that's all you, Bernie.
And I look at horror, right? And it's just the same as it's all jumps, and there's additional full-on horror game. Now there are. We have Visage, which is really, really good. But for example, I don't games like. But okay, so to me, I thought Resident Evil was great. I personally wouldn't have called it. I thought the story was fantastic. A lot of people hated that game because it didn't have the true Resident Evil 7 characters in it at all. But
yeah,
they tried to take it back to its root, and for a while, and I guess if I had played it for 13 hours without stopping, that I just like kind of went autopilot, and I was really just trying to beat like the game. But in the beginning, like you had that atmosphere, you had the immersion of like you're stuck in the house, you have no idea. Dad's probably about to go at like it's like you have to be careful of aspect. A lot of people hated the Resident Evil. They became more fond of the Resident Evil series at like Resident Evil 4, 5, and then they hated 6 modern.
It was more of an adventure game than a horror game.
Right. And it's
in
like
my opinion.
a lot of people hated 7. And I think it's because they were the running of 4 and 5. Some people were out here saying Operation Operation City or
Yeah.
They said that game was straight. No, that game was straight dick cheese. That game was absolutely like the game was good whatsoever. The multiplayer was cool. The straight cheese. Horrible game. Great concept. Done absolutely. And it's because 4, 5, and 6, like the stories were good, but it was just a running gun. It pulled away from traditional Resident Evil 1, 2. Bro, I was scared of my playing Nemesis. First of all, whenever I'm walking, all I hear is stars. Like, no, don't. First of all, you don't. Nemesis needs to stop and do that. So,
yeah, facts. Before you get swung on.
And then, dude, like, whenever first meet at the police station, he jumps to the, like, that got me. Whenever I was little, completely got me. But it's just a lot of developers are coming from the, oh, this is a horror game. They're labeled full on jump scares. It's loud noise, jump scares. There's no any. I have to back at 2018. Right. So you have this 2018. Only a few. Conan Exiles was on there. But you had three other tormented fathers would have been a phenomenal game. It was basically about, I don't want to give up, psychological, pretty much like the end you were, but ultimately, the game in itself, it was unfinished.
Okay.
Very, very finished at. And it just go from like, oh, the story's so good. All right, old man, butt naked old man, smear, getting on one. Saw that it.
Well,
for a while, kind of just annoying that he would not leave. Nurse following you around. It became annoying. So much potential to be a lot greater than it was. It just died. It honestly fell off. It wasn't scary. I found myself a lot more confused as to anything, and it just wasn't great. The game could have been better. It fell off. Got games like Until Dawn. Now, Until Dawn was great.
Yo, I loved Until
Maybe
I never played it, but I watched it,
and
and I really
it
enjoyed
was
it.
just a little better, but the game overall, it was fantastic. Basically, Until Dawn, about a group of teenagers that go up. I think the summer before, there was a group that died. It was a that went up. There was somebody that died while they were.
Yeah, their twin sisters ran out and they died, and then they were like having it's like a yearly thing that they like a yearly party.
They like fell into a cave or something like that.
Mineshaft.
Mineshaft, yeah, they fell into a mineshaft and body. None of them, if I remember correctly, went to find them. And
they said they looked, but they did.
And so basically through the game, your controller is, there's times where you cannot move your controller. However, you change the decisions, what happens when you die. But it's basically like a full whole type of thing. 3 ending, or 4 ending.
Well, here's the thing. You can with all of the different characters, there's like 5 different characters or something like that, you can have an ending, like depending on your choices, you can have different endings where all of them survive or all of them die.
Facts.
And then any combination of who lives and who dies based on your choice.
'Cause
Like literally at one point during the game, you literally have the choice to just shoot someone in the face. But like you can choose to, or you can choose not to, based on whatever information you find while walking around.
That's that made that game so good, honestly, because the story was great, the immersion was fantastic, and that was just to me a better way how to a cinematic horror game done.
Yeah, I watched through like 6 or 7 different playthroughs of that game.
I played Alien Isolation. I didn't.
I want to play that game.
Not the game itself, right? It's not bad. They definitely took the Alien from the put it into a game. Feel like put it against something it could not be, and it was solid. I feel like it fell short. But understand it. I mean,
those robots seem weird. Yeah.
Like suppose to a lot of people they scared a lot of people. To me, kind of added layer of because they weren't random. They were there to kill you.
No.
But it was, and it was just okay. I'm running from this alien, and they are in the to make it to where, but it was okay. I kind of have to kill them. You know, and you can hide from them. More so, okay, I gotta kill him. It
Yeah.
became annoying. Another game. Strong point. Another strong one. Look at game Doki Doki. That shit was like. I thought it was gonna become really dumb and took an extra twist for a lot
See,
of.
that's one of those games where like I've like all the memes around it just sort of made me avoid it, and like but like I couldn't tell you what it's about because I just actively. But it's one of those things where I'm like I'm just so curious that maybe one day I'll watch a playthrough.
It's
but like
it's basically about a club and group of them start liking and things take a little bit of a left turn. A lot of bit of a left turn, and it's just like what do the most of it because it definitely catches you off guard, and then after that everything starts crumbling down. There was a for Craven Man. I never played it. It's a point like supposedly. There is supposedly people other absolutely. Here's the thing. Friday the 13th. Okay.
That game is dead on arrival.
see,
I bought it once. I think I played it one time, Sam. Played like one time.
Yeah, we played. No, I played the shit out of it.
Yeah, you
I think I had it like, yeah. It wasn't so much the game; it was so much of the players. Like, people would come in as a party, and then they would just, stick together and just kill the random people. That's kind of what killed the game for me.
Right.
Like, you got 3 dudes and 2 chicks, whatever, and if a dude's Jason, he's not gonna kill the chicks he came in with. He's gonna kill everyone that he didn't come in with, and then let everyone else escape.
Did they ever single player? I don't think they did.
With the bots? Yeah, they did.
Oh,
they did.
Yeah, with the bots, yeah. But they released it so late in the game that like nobody was really playing it anymore.
Died out.
Yeah.
I always thought Amnesia was really well done, good, but it also just kind of fell down jump scares. Outlast, I feel like was a very.
I like Outlast. That was the one horror game I actually like to play.
Yeah.
Very solid. I think the thing that killed it for me was the fact that I watched people play some. so much so whenever I played it, I already knew what was gonna come
The,
out from player.
the big
Yeah,
jump
you can't-
scares, at least,
Yeah.
yeah.
So like me playing Outlast 1, waiting for Outlast, Wilson, and then playing Outlast 2, I gotta say, me was a huge letdown. I got to
It had
that
its
point.
moments.
Yeah, it did moments. The story was fucked up. Honestly, the story
Yeah.
was honestly messed up. But I got to that point where I was playing and I was just trying to survive over being scared. Like there was really points in the game where I was honestly terrified. Like I wasn't Outlast 1,
Hmm.
that was such an innovative hit in it. It was so good to where you were able to breathe, and then there were times where you faced and you don't exactly know where it's gonna end. And then face scene leads you're still
Cutscene, or
face,
yeah.
but you're having to solve a puzzle.
That's super annoying.
Like, and it was one of those things kept going and kept going and it kept going, and it's like the parts where you think you're supposed to be fenced up, it was just like one of those points and you didn't actually know. And then when you think you're supposed to relax, boom, there it goes, you get in. And I thought Outlast was done very, very well. I honestly, or well, I don't think I'd consider.
Yeah, I'm playing Bioshock 1 right
Thriller.
now. I don't think it's scary at all.
Yeah,
I think it's
that's
just
what-
really creepy, like walking around. Because I mean, like, it would be scary if like the bouncers that roll around with the little sisters like really would just pull up whenever they felt like on you. That would definitely be
If
scary.
they pulled a Nimit from Resident 3, that would
Yeah, yeah.
absolutely.
But they don't. So it's really like it's more of like
Thriller.
they throw enemies randomly at you, right? Yeah. Okay, for me, you're gonna jump me like that only because I don't be like paying attention sometimes, and if all I hear is like the chase music going on, I catch like an anxiety attack, and I'm sitting there like, bro, who is chasing me? I don't want this right now. But I mean, like other than that, it's not like too scary or anything like that. So there's not really, I think. I don't know. I think people want survival horrors back, right?
Yeah, I feel like that's a very, very dead genre.
But I think developers don't want that to come back.
See, and that to me, I personally don't understand that. I don't think that why make a short pumped game where you get a good jump scare? Like, what's the point of calling it a horror? Like a movie? They do that. To me, I haven't seen a good horror movie in a very, very long time. Hereditary was great. Okay.
Yeah, I was just about to say, like, you didn't like her. If you
Well, I had
actually
to-
like dig into,
Yeah, I
if you
thought
dig
about it
into everything with her right
afterwards.
there.
But that, I mean, like that's one out of like how many that
Jesus,
have come out in the past like couple of years, though.
people get
I think-
scared from paranormal.
The Paranormal
depends.
Activity is a comedy to me, bro.
Dude,
But I hate watching scary movies, but I laugh at Paranormal Activity.
when
That makes you
Paranormal
say
Activity came out, the girl that I was watching it with, she was one of my best friends. She literally showed me the alternate ending version and then tried to convince me that it was real. And she's like, you know, this was real, right? I was like, you know, you literally said, all right, we're gonna watch the alternate ending version, right? It's like, how stupid do you think I am?
It's what about?
No, Sam.
Oh,
Oh no,
yeah.
I was gonna say it depends. Like for me, when I really want to get into a horror movie, I have to set the mood in order for me to really like to try to get immersed in it. But yeah, I definitely agree. I think prior to Hereditary, the best horror movie that come out, in my opinion, was the Evil Dead remake. I believe 2013,
Facts.
2012.
That would've
Yeah,
been
prior to that.
gore horror, but it still counts because I was honestly I cringed up the whole. Not like cringed as oh stupid, like cringed up like oh my god, why is this kid being
Right.
like?
But yeah,
that stuff always pretty solid.
Yeah, I don't want to dive off, but that can definitely be a subject for another day, like horror movies or something.
Another I feel like horror game, 100% hands down. There's a few. I don't. Nothing compares
It's funny.
to how I used to.
yeah, I think. Well,
Go
yeah,
ahead,
you
sorry.
can go first. No, you can go first.
No, I was gonna say it's funny that he says that because you got to think of the time generation got back then too. Like back then, you didn't have access to YouTube and strategy guys and to look up stuff or know what was going to happen. Twitch wasn't around back then and all that either. So nowadays you can look up or you can unexpectedly come across a stream or something just trying to see how the game is and catch a jump scare. And then when you actually play into the game, you already know what's going to happen. And I feel like that type of stuff kind of ruins it.
It does.
But I feel like going to that, I think like the way how horror games really like market nowadays is like having some popular like YouTuber or content creator just play the game and like, oh guys, look how scary our game is. You should go and try and pick it up. But I mean, like the problem with that is that if that certain YouTuber just shows off all the jump scares and stuff, like what is there left for the consumer to buy? That was the whole thing. That was the whole problem with like Telltale, was that nobody was buying their games because, you know, everybody was already just watching it online. Like I'm sitting there like, why would I buy a Telltale game if I know my favorite YouTuber is just gonna make a whole series on it? I don't have to worry about buying the game. I know I could just live through him that whole time. And same thing with horror games. It's like certain story games, like let's say like God of War, like right, you can watch the whole playthrough with that and still be okay with buying the game because the gameplay is what it comes down to for that game.
My brother made a statement a while back with like how some games are it's just a video game you play them, and then some games are an experience. You actually get immersed in them, and you actually, you know, you kind of get caught up in emotions, and you actually feel what's going on with the game if you immerse yourself good enough like that. So yeah, I definitely agree.
One of the bigger things. So, perfect example of what a gaming company should do is, of course, I will call Hideo Kojima father of horror game because he was the creator of. You guys don't know his father. That's the creator of, and he worked with Konami. Left, but what he did before he left was, of course, he was going to make Silent Hills with Norman as the main character.
And that game was gonna be lit off of that PT demo, dog.
And now he's making Death Stranding, which I think is gonna be a beautiful game regardless. He always makes beautiful games. But he made a whole demo that had nothing to do with it. It was literally test the new engine. Because PT, he specifically said nothing to be at all.
Yeah.
And I thought that was a beautiful concept because it's like everybody. There was like
so ready for that.
6 different in for PT, and it was if you caught all the small things, and everybody, whenever you want, had a different feel for it. Even watching it, feel like, oh shit, about to go down.
Yeah, like that game was scary.
Good. Whenever I would, and I had I think it was Jam Pack, PlayStation. It had Silent Hill. And whenever you go into the get as far as I got as far, I did not. I mean, of course I beat the game now, but I got as far as getting through the hole in the bathroom. All of a sudden now, I didn't know then, dog walking around and it sounded like this squishing low growl, and I was like, I can't play this. And it was like 2 o'clock in the afternoon. Oh, the window. I was like, nope. Can't do it. Gotta go. So it's like, it's something for the room. Great game. Siren was beautiful. Nobody really. You want to play? Get a PS2, whatever. Download Siren. Siren, freaking free. Fatal Frame game, amazing. Always good. Suffering, I thought was. What is it? Deadly Premonition. Fear, the original lit. That was a good one. That was a really good one. A lot of people say Condemned. I laughed through like 90. Crackheads over there. Makes you feel better. Because that's all it is. Crackheads, that's all it is.
Yeah.
But just all the old Fatal Frame, Silent Hill, Iron, just so good. Resident Evil 1, so good as they hit spots that immerse in that camera angle where you can't look around. You're to look at a specific direction, at a specific aim, that right there, that's great.
I think I think the problem overall, I think with horror games, at least the ones coming out right now, I think it comes down to gameplay more than anything else right now, at least for me.
Nice.
Because okay, like Alien Isolation looks really good to play only because I like, I guess, the stealth aspect of trying to hide from the alien, but you can't fight it off for about like probably 2 seconds, then it's gonna come back and rip you apart, of course. But there's like you can craft flamethrowers. What is it? What else did you craft? I forget what else you could craft in that game, but there was a whole bunch of like things you can craft. You can collect items and stuff like that. Kind of like, what do you call it? It's basically, it's a survival horror game, but I think that the gameplay wise, that it hits the mark that a lot of games don't hit, that are horror games today. And there's not that many horror games that actually immerse you, where like even if you watch somebody play it and you play it for yourself, that you would have a different experience playing it than if you watch somebody else play it. I think there's too much. I guess it's like too many devs are creating movies. Like I think, one of you said it. It's
I feel
more,
like it's too linear.
there's too many
that's why,
linear
yeah.
movies for horror games out right now. It's not gonna. It's no horror game is gonna feel like an actual game until something changes within the gameplay or how the story is portrayed. Because
That's read on.
Hmm.
And this is my basis horror.
Mhm.
So top horror game, top horror base, they have Devil May Cry 5. First of all, what? Wow.
That's
Alright.
true.
Now they're saying like
Actually,
it's probably like the aesthetic of it, right? You know,
So,
there's-
does look like Metro X.
Mhm.
Don't see.
Nope.
Give salt. I think that's gonna. I've been watching it. Don't. I
No,
can't
that's not a horror.
whole thing.
That's not a horror game.
Yeah, it's literally action.
Mortal Kombat.
No,
What?
it's a fight. What?
Yeah,
Time out.
I'm saying.
That's how bad the
supposed
horror
to-
game genre is.
Yeah.
Freddy Krueger and like bad guy.
Fam, I just saw a list horror games that will blow you away in 2019. They put Days Gone, which is a zombie game, and Luigi's Mansion 3.
Okay,
Aw,
alright.
Yo, alright. Real
Yeah.
talk. I'm hyped for Luigi's Mansion 3, but
Is
like,
that a
that's
horror
not a horror game.
This for 2000. Both of those actual previews, trailers. The videos are like a minute long. But yeah, I don't feel that is prominent. If I had to give my we'll probably go on the topic about the next podcast, different podcast. Would be psychological develop that.
Bro, I 100%.
That,
Like,
oh my god.
If you can get inside my head versus me running from a monster, yeah.
That's way
Dude,
different.
dude, that's why I love the Saw movies so much. Like I'll find like I watched the latest Saw like a year or two ago.
Mhm.
Like I watched that on demand like a month ago, and I still find myself finding little nuances that were like, damn, they really thought every angle of it to like get inside my head,
Yeah.
fucking me up.
That's what, to me, I feel like that's a genre that we'll have to get into untouched genre. Another one, a podcast.
Yeah.
I feel like we have covered quite a bit, honestly.
Yes, sir.
I feel like we covered quite a bit. Talked about it. Does anybody want to say anything? Close out.
Uh, Nerf Brigitte, please.
Since I know he's gonna watch this, Perch, you a fraud.
Oh no,
Oh, God.
that's terrible. Take a slip on the
He told-
podcast.
Hey man, he told me he was gonna listen to it while he was at his tournament, and then he said he was gonna listen to it eventually if it was recorded. So I said I'd give him a shout out. So shout out.
Facts. Like to say shout out to honestly all of them. Guys have sticking with for a while, even since whenever it took over. I haven't known. But I do sticking through. I hope that the podcast really does. It's not that I think it will. It's more so it'll take off.
Consistency is key.
Exactly, and I had a lot of fun. Get on the different topics. I'm going to thank you to all of you for coming by today, hanging out.
Hell yeah, brother. My pleasure.
Yeah. Your
Ability. Alright, I'm gonna go ahead and close up the podcast. To everybody watching, thank you for listening. Thank you for listening all the way through. We have a lot more to come. Talk about, go off topic with. Aside from that, great rest of your day. I do not podcast quite yet. But I will be new topics on the N.O.S Cast. Best podcast. Today, music brought to you by good old one and only boy Yexe, hanging out in.
Oh, God.
Guys, I'll drop his link in the description below.
Yeah, please. I need to hit him up.
And
About to speak tape.
some of the other music that was played in today by my cousin Ida. Well, guys, go ahead. Good old we're on the SoundCloud. Time from that podcast. You guys have a night.